right, so New York City Council has voted unanimously to advance a bill that intends to restrict short-term rental services like Airbnb and HomeAway.
Yeah, it will require these companies to provide the full names, addresses, and more information to renters in the city, but it would also stop people from using these services. That's what some people believe. So tech expert Shelly Palmer joining us live in studio to break down this headline and tell us what we need to know and separate fact from fiction. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
So what do we need to know about Airbnbs and these new policies that are going to be instituted?
The City Council, as you said, passed some legislation, and the goal of the legislation was to get the home sharing services to give the city the names of every available apartment that's listed or home that's listed.
Okay.
Some of them are legal to rent out short stay. If you live in an apartment building and your lease doesn't explicitly allow you to do a short-term rental, you probably aren't allowed to rent to someone for less than 30 days. They're going to fine Airbnb and its similar companies $1,500 per listing that they don't put up. So that's going to be, there's like 50,000 Airbnb listings that are impacted by this legislation. That could be like a $75 million fine to Airbnb. So they're probably going to give them the list. And then the question is that going to impact where you'll stay? And the answer is yes, because it's going to just take a lot of Airbnb inventory out of the market. Now, Airbnb is under attack in a lot of major cities.
Yeah, so what are they saying about this? I mean,
they are, look, they can't give up on New York because New York's too important for every kind of reason. But cities around the world have gone after this kind of service. And the reason that they're going after it, everybody thinks, is the hotel industry.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right.
That doesn't really want the competition. The way the cab drivers are a little mad at Uber. But there are so many people who love this kind of service where you have an app, I need to stay, I can't necessarily afford or find a hotel room, and you trust the listings on Airbnb. There's so many people who like that service. This is going to be quite a long fight.
So the hotels are the big conglomerate that are trying to stop this from happening because they're not getting the influx of money that they would.
If you follow not the technology but the politics, it looks like there's lobbying for the hotels and that the politicians are all accepting donations. That's what one side says. The other side says, hey, look, this is a great service and everybody is enjoying it, so what are you doing?
But what about the people who have rent-controlled apartments that are then sending this? This is also a big issue when it comes to rent-controlled apartments because living in the city is so costly, and if you can afford to, send it to Airbnb, then why do you need to have a rent-controlled apartment?
So your point is well taken because the average renter who uses Airbnb to rent out their place is picking up about $6,000 to $7,000 a year in New York City extra. So that really can help you cover your rent, which is why people are wanting to do it. And the city council decided, look, we got to get right to the people. There's already legislation on the books that can fine you up to $7,500 if you do this illegally. But the bigger question is, what's the whole impact going to be on the industry?
Right. I mean, on the flip side, you can see. I mean, okay, so your neighbor is renting their place out to an absolute stranger. That can't make somebody feel comfortable.
It doesn't. And, no, you're 100% right. Look, this is not a perfect solution. There are people who swear by Airbnb and that kind of service. There are people who don't. But the technology. Think about our world. Ride sharing. The home sharing. You have when you book a regular travel now, they don't own the airlines. You're going to an over-the-air travel agent. It's a meta service. So this idea of a meta service isn't going to go away. But Airbnb and similar companies are in serious trouble now.
I like what you're saying, ride sharing, home sharing. I wish somebody would just share our bills. Bill sharing. That's what I want.
That's what we need. Bill sharing. I'm all for that right now.
All right. Thank you, Shelly.